All right, so yet again, we have to figure out what to do with all the poop around the farm. That's coming up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here today. It's the first weekend in October, and you know what? It is actually finally nice here in Arizona. We're gonna be in the mid to low 80s out here in Whitman today. Just a beautiful, beautiful day, which means Lori and I get to do a lot of heavy lifting. We're gonna have you guys join us for something today. So what I wanna show you is something we've actually never really talked about officially before. I'm gonna link one video here that you got a sneak peek at one of our tortoises in the back of a video we were doing one time. I think it was on a chicken tractor or something. Anyhow, I'm going to link that video for you so you can kind of get a peek at what was in here but actually isn't any longer. So Lori and I decided we were going to go ahead and rehome our two tortoises. We had two sulcata tortoises that were about 3 years old or so. We actually got them when our son was living with us, and he quickly moved out and left us with these tortoises. So we weren't sure if we were going to bring them to the new property or not, but we decided, you know what, let's see if we can find a good home for them. So we did find a new home. It was actually a family, had some young kids, young kids, toddlers that are going to get a chance to grow up with those two tortoises. So we're able to give those away and make a really, really happy family with a couple of sulcata tortoises. We miss them, but it leaves us with an enclosure that we now need to deal with. So we had this enclosure set up for our sulcatas, and so what we're going to do is we're going to repurpose these bricks, which is what we're going to show you today. So what Lori and I are going to do, and we're going to give you a time lapse, we're going to take these bricks and we're actually going to be building composting bins out of these cement bricks. So we're going to go ahead and reuse these bricks, set up some basic composting bins, and we're going to bring you guys along with us. So we're going to show you how we do that now. All right, so we're back. So you guys just saw a real quick time lapse of how we put this together. So Lori and I counted them up. We used 48 full-size bricks, and we had a couple little half bricks. And these are those bigger bricks, the ones that kind of go in the middle of your columns when you're dealing with a larger block fence. I forget the size of this. I want to say it's 8 feet by 8, or 8 inches by 8 inches by 16 inches or something like that when you get these at Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you like to go. But we got 48 of them here, lots of space. There's a lot of compost that can fit into here. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather some of the things that we're going to be putting in here for compost, get these in, then we'll come back to you and talk about how we're going to manage these. So that's coming next. Okay, so for some reason, I decided to kill the mic on this one, so you guys are getting my first official narration of a video. So what you see here is how we are currently composting our pig manure. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking pig manure and we're taking wood chips, put them together, mixing them around with water, covering them with a tarp, and you got this pile of compost, and it's your basic piling method. So it's fine, it works fine, but aesthetically not exactly pleasing, which neither Lori nor I are a fan of. So we're going to change that up. One thing I do want to point out, to my right, your left, you'll see 3 white dinner plate looking things on the ground. Those are actually massive mushrooms. So what I want to do, I want to talk more about that right now. Okay, so now for a close-up on those mushrooms. So these are just, I think it's either 3 or 4 just big mushrooms that are growing underneath this tree. These are the biggest we've had so far, but I'm kind of pointing out the size. It's just bigger than my hand. They're big, big mushrooms. So we've gotten a lot of rain here recently, which is unusual for us, and so we got mushrooms sprouting up everywhere. And I'll tell you, it's a really good thing to see, especially for your fruit trees. So if you don't know, mushrooms actually live and feed on wood, decaying wood, which is what we have with our wood chips. So So, one of the things that you can't see is the mycelium that runs underneath and through those wood chips. That's underneath the wood chips and kind of throughout it. So that actually is what allows your trees to uptake nutrients. So very, very beneficial when you see mushrooms in your fruit trees or around your fruit trees and your wood chips. Give them a high five because they're doing an awesome job for you. It's a good thing to see. Okay, one more quick narration section. What we're looking at here is we're looking at our chicken brooder. So another compost or composting method we use is we utilize our meat chickens, really all of our chickens, go through our brooder. I'll link our brooder video here. But they go spend the first 3 weeks of their life here in the brooder, and they basically are in pine shavings. So we got pine shavings, about a 6 to 8 inch layer of pine shavings down. We go through 2 rounds of broiler chickens in here, so there's a tremendous amount of composting that happens immediately after all this material comes out, and there's a lot of manure. So very, very high nitrogen content. Still have plenty of pine shavings, so you got plenty of carbon in here, but we utilize this as a fantastic compost and fertilizer around the farm. So this is another area we're going to be pulling from today and putting into that new section. All right, so we're done. Well, we're almost done. So the only thing I've left to do is really cover these, but basically you kind of see the end result. So we've got these 2 areas here. Now you can kind of use these a couple different ways. We have 2 different types of compost that we're utilizing here. And if you only have one, you can use this as a finished compost side and a side that's still working or still composting down. What we'll probably have to do is come back in through here and put maybe a small layer of bricks between if we want to make sure we have some finished and unfinished composts, because we will be getting pigs here in another week or 2. So we'll be adding to this, and you can see, by the way, this is about 3 or no, it's actually probably closer to 5 months. So this is almost finished here and ready to be utilized for our fertilizing here come spring, which is a few months away. And then we have what is completely unfinished and dry chicken manure compost. So this could actually turn into garden soil that you've seen us put in before that you guys can put right into your garden beds. But you can use it either way. You can use it as to separate different types of compost, or you can use it as a finished and unfinished side. Super simple way of doing it. I know a lot of you have probably seen that before, but it's something new for us that we're trying before we get onto the new property, and we thought this looked pretty cool. All right, so just want to thank you guys for joining us today. A quick video, but we just wanted to share what we're doing with composting. Lori and I are getting really excited about our new property, and I'm going to link that here so you can see our 100th episode where we talk about our big move that'll be happening next year. We really hope you guys will join us, and in order to do that, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We cover a lot of different things here. We've got over 100 videos so far on what we've done on this property. We're going to be moving on to a 6-acre piece of land and starting a farm from literally nothing but raw desert land. Would love if you would join us. And hey, if you have any questions or comments, hey, leave them in the comment section down below. Lori and I really enjoy interacting with you guys, and there's cool discussions that happen while they're there. And what's kind of neat to see is we have other people that follow us that answer people's questions before we even get a chance to respond. That's really cool to see, and build this little community around this little edge of nowhere farm. It's kind of cool. Lori and I love being a part of it. We hope you'll join us. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. All right, so today we're going to be talking about poop. Poop coming your way. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's a beautiful morning. I don't know what to say. Got a lot of work to do that we can just take our time doing. That's today, and I'm rambling. I'm going to start over. Let's try that again. You can see all of me? I don't know if that's good or bad. All right, so today I'm surrounded by, again, I'm not surrounded by poop. I just like talking about poop. Poop's one of my favorite things.